is a picture, sort of artist's impression before the space age of what Venus might be like on its surface. And so this was looking at the planet Venus. It was science fiction and science fact all the way up to 56 before the start of the space age. But it wasn't completely disproved, this idea of a really sort of lush environment on Venus, until 1967, which is when the first measurements in detail were done at Venus. So Venera 4 and Mariner 5 confirmed the feeling from an earlier space mission that, in fact, the surface of Venus was not like this at all, but extremely hot, and also that the clouds were made of sulfuric acid, so there wasn't a nice water cycle like is going on in this picture. But it had to wait for these in situ measurements by a spacecraft to actually do that. And so Venus turned out not to be quite as Earth-like as we thought. And I'll sort of tell you about some of the latest results from Venus Express, which say actually there are some Earth-like features, but to a large extent it's not like the Earth. Okay, so a brief comparison between...
Venus was the main topic of the lecture. The speaker talked about the picture, impressions, surface, planet, and science fiction. He also talked about science facts, space age, and idea. He talked about the environment on Venus in 1957. He talked about earlier space missions, sulfuric acid, water cycle, and spacecraft. He talked about the latest results, features, and surface of Venus was extremely hot. He said that Venus turned out to be totally different as it was thought by them. So in the lecture, he gave the total description of this planet Venus. He gave so many features, he talked about so many features regarding this planet. I came to know about this planet in detail.